I mean, what's maybe the most difficult thing about being in this tournament, and maybe like especially so getting into the thick of it?
Yeah, we've all played a long season already. 54 games, something like that, regular season. And also too, just you're playing an SEC team every single game. So, obviously the physical side of that, you're playing every single day. Also, but the mental side of that too is, you can't just show up and expect to win. Like with some of your early season games, you got to go in there and you got to be 100% ready to play and focus every single day. And for however long that tournament is, it's a lot of baseball and a lot of wear and tear. But the reward is so good if you can make it all the way.
How important is it to stay just that day? We just talked about that. You guys have been able to focus on one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but how important is that heading into the postseason? It's
huge. I mean, you can never get too far ahead of yourself. That's the coach's jobs to do. For us, though, I mean, we just got to go out there and there's 27 outs in a baseball game. You've got to be ready and locked in for every single 27 out. And I mean, I feel like that's been a huge part of our season this year. Even through the struggles, we kept it out by out, pitch by pitch, and didn't look too far ahead to other games, other opponents. We just kept it within ourselves and kept it within the game.
Second straight year that you're that last game 4 of opening day TBD. How do you stay focused and locked in and prepped, knowing that you're going to play at some indefinite time tonight and you're not sure when it's going to be?
Really, just for me at least, taking that morning time, just kind of, hey, this is just a regular day, kind of getting to unplug a little bit, not necessarily focusing on, the game if you play at 8 o'clock at night, there's no reason to think about it at 8 a.m., for me at least. I know for a couple other guys, they like thinking about it like that. And some guys, they'd rather be amped up all day. Me personally, I cannot do it. I just can't. So yeah, that's kind of how I think about it.
Your power surge, Nate, has kind of coincided with Auburn's hot second half. What has led to that? You think that your increased hitting?
A lot of prayers, a whole lot of prayers. Knowing that it's baseball, you're gonna go through long droughts sometimes, season-long droughts, which has kind of been the case this year. But I know that I can control the way I catch, and that's kind of helped me to stay grounded and not get too high or too low. And obviously, I've been too high or too low sometimes, but having Coach Thompson be able to reel me back in, and some of the other guys be able to reel me back in and be like, hey man, like you need to focus and catch his pitching staff because we need you back there. So that's really helped me to deal with the struggles at the plate a little bit.
Have you hit a lot of doubles off the top of the wall in your career?
I have not. That's pretty cool though. I was telling I think it was Ole Miss's first baseman whenever we were there last weekend. Got a little squib hit up the middle or something like that, and he got on first. He goes, "Man, we like those, don't we?" I said, "Buddy, I'll take a hit off a 4th grader right now, and I feel the exact same way." So yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about it one bit.
Does it being 25 years since y'all won an SEC tournament, is that some motivation for you guys going in this week?
Absolutely. I mean, your goal is to win it every single year. Obviously, that doesn't happen, but we come into August with one thing on our mind, and that's going to be dogpiling in Omaha, being the last team standing. So this is, the same way. Coach Thompson said every day is a World Series. So we're going to go in there, we're going to treat it the exact same way.
You mentioned them kind of sticking with you. How important has that been for you that they said, hey, you're our guy?
It was really a really big confidence booster for me. I was kind of worried a little bit at the beginning. I wasn't hitting. We weren't really doing that well. But Coach Thompson called him back into his office and said, hey, man, you're the guy. We're sticking with you. We know what you can do behind the plate, and that's more valuable to us than your bat. And so just having that little confidence booster of knowing that, I am doing at least one thing good was helped ease my mind a little bit.
The pitching staff's ERA second half of the SEC season versus first is quite a bit lower. What do you attribute that to?
First pitch strikes, getting ahead in the count. The most important pitch on that bat is the first one. Whether that's a strike or a ball, that can kind of determine the way the at bat goes. I feel like our guys have just done a really good job of, getting in the bullpen, getting their stuff set before the game, during practices and stuff. They're always down there working, trying to perfect the little things that they can control. And those first pitch strikes, man, just been huge for us. And it makes it a lot easier to call a game when you're 0-1 instead of 1-0. You're 0-1, you can open up with any pitch, pretty much any pitch you want to. When you're 1-0, kind of limits that a little bit.
Nate, sometimes during the SEC tournament, position players got to step in and throw a few innings. Have you been working on yours? Are you ready to go?
We actually, while we were shagging today, I was working on my knuckleball. So hey, might happen. Might come in.
Talking about game calling, what does, in essence, the 4th straight game against the same team, what does that do for you behind the plate as far as figuring out how do we get this guy out for the 10th time, the 11th time, the 12th time?
For me, the way I think about it is, the first couple batters will really tell me what I need to know about what their lineup's thinking, whether they've made an adjustment or not. But this is going to be their 10th, 11th, 12th at bats against our pitchers. And so we're going to have to obviously mix up a little more than we did this weekend. But not necessarily straying from the game plan that we had, because obviously we had success with it. So kind of just seeing whether or not they've made adjustments, and also too just mixing a little bit better than we had to.